Hey everybody, and welcome to I'm Not Crying, You're Crying, a show about anything and everything, because it's our show. I'm here with Juan.
Yellow.
And Jay.
Hello.
And I'm Sean. And now our theme music. All right, everybody, welcome back to I'm Not Crying, You're Crying. Thank you for joining us again. Man, it has been a pretty productive week. First of all, thank everybody for all the support. Lots of support out there on Facebook and Instagram. What have you guys been up to this week?
Well, I actually downloaded Super Mario Brothers 35.
That's the one on Switch, right? That just came out.
Yeah. It's like Tetris 99, but you play Super Mario Brothers against 35 other people, which it's cool. It's cool because it's multiplayer. You know, you play against other people, and the cool thing about it, first of all, it's a free download. It's absolutely free. You can download it. You don't have to pay anything, and then you can just start playing against other people. You play Super Mario Brothers and you play it against other people. And the cool thing is you could send like enemies to other people. Like, you know, every time you stomp on a Goomba or like stomp on a turtle, it can go to another person and they'll end up with like a bunch of enemies on their board, and you have to kind of like get through the stages, and you have to be the last man standing. And what I've realized about this game is how bad I am at Super Mario Brothers. Like, I'm so bad. Like, at one point, I was playing, and there were so many Goombas and turtles on my stage. Like, I felt like Mario was in The Walking Dead. You like in the worst part of The Walking Dead. It was just like, it was awful, you know. The one saving grace though about the Super Mario Brothers 35, like if you play it, the fire flower is overpowered. Like you get that, and you're just like Rambo. You're just like mowing down, just mowing down people.
I haven't had a chance to play it yet, but I did play Tetris 99, and the reason why I stopped playing is because people would just send random blocks to me, and I would block out every single time.
You know, I haven't played any of those two. I think I've been trying to focus on Mario 3D, the one I just bought, and then one of my kids got a hold of my Switch and deleted my progress.
Oh no!
Well, yeah, I get the feeling you weren't very far to begin with.
No, I
got my name in there.
I had like 16 stars because I was playing Mario 64, and I had like 16 stars. And the good thing about now that I didn't have back then was the internet. So whenever I forgot how to get a star, I just freaking Googled it or YouTubed it.
You know, that's the thing about like retro games like Tetris and even like Mario, where like you needed a special kind of OCD to be able to like pass those games. Like even like without cheats, without the internet, like you needed a special kind of like cognitive recognition to even get past like the last level.
Well, when 64 first came out, I remember getting all the stars because once you get like, I think all the stars or a certain amount of stars, you could get Yoshi and get unlimited life. I can't remember exactly. So I started playing it, and then I remembered how I got certain stars, but then I completely forgot about others. And as I'm cheating and looking it up on YouTube, I went, how the fuck did I even figure this out when I was a kid?
Well, yeah, you had more time back then, you know?
Yeah, you didn't have, you know.
You could just focus.
Yeah, you didn't have the, the weight of being an adult with things to do to hold you back.
No, but remember back then they also sold strategy guides. I could have sworn I probably bought a strategy guide for that.
Yeah, but you had to go somewhere, get the guide, and then bring it back, and then read through it, and then play it. It was such a hassle back then.
Yeah.
Now everything's at the tip of your fingertip.
Yeah.
Now everything is on the tip of your fingertips.
On the tip of your
Yeah, it's right on the tip of your fingertips.
It's right on the tip of your fingers. There you go.
Yeah, it's Jesus Christ,
it's on
man.
the tips of the fingertips.
Hey, I'm looking for this thing I lost. Juan, you know where I might find it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, well, I was going to look on the tip of my fingertips, but I couldn't find them.
It might be on the tips of your fingertips. I don't know.
You know what? F you guys, man.
So, you guys do anything else interesting this week, or is it status quo?
I started, my wife and kids, we went Home Depot and Walmart and Spirit to start buying some decorations for Halloween.
Oh.
So, my wife, October 1st, 12:01, took out a box from our garage, and then she opened the box, a light erupted, and then my entire front room was decorated with stuff. Because this is her season. This is
Halloween.
Halloween. This is her time. This is Halloween, Nightmare Before Christmas, the whole nine. So right now, my entire front room is decked out with all kinds of stuff that I didn't even know we had.
She likes like Nightmare Before Christmas and Beetlejuice, right?
Yep. Those are her bread and butter.
Home Depot is selling the Beetlejuice earthworm or snake from the movie.
The sandworm?
Yeah, the sandworm. There you go.
You know, I probably shouldn't say this, but I don't think she listens, so I'm safe. I'm not going to mention it because that saves me a trip to Home Depot.
Save that money, dude.
Yeah. Hey, but speaking of like Halloween and more spooky stuff, so as we do in Wantober.
Thank you.
Hashtag Juan. As we do in hashtag
Juantober.
Hashtag. Yeah.
Hashtag Juantober.
We're talking about more fun stuff during the Halloween season. So like, you said you went out a bunch of places. Did you do any haunts or plan to do any like haunt type events?
Myself, and my wife is the organizer. We're going to do something here in Lancaster. It's trick-or-treating through your car. So, when she read it to me, it's essentially they'll give us a bag of candy for the kids, and then we drive down a spooky street, and there's like ghosts and goblins and stuff like that. But that's the only thing, and it's like pretty PG, so it's fine for the kids. But I wish. Go ahead.
I didn't realize they had that out in Lancaster. That's pretty cool, you know. But it's funny that you say.
I lied. I think it's Santa Clarita.
Okay, that's the same place. The funny thing about that though is that like you're gonna drive through. Well, now you have like a few more things to worry about. Where like when we were growing up as kids, it's like, hey, if you get candy, make sure there's no razor blades in it. Now you got to make sure there's no razor blades, there's no coronavirus, and there's not some crazy person waiting to like cough inside your car as you drive by.
Yeah. But I think this one's pretty safe because it's organized by the city, so we're safe. But there were so many other haunts that I wanted to do. Obviously, they got canceled, but you have to appreciate human persistence and ingenuity. And all these new style haunts are popping up. Like Haunted Hayride is now a drive-through haunted experience.
That's scary.
You know, they're even in Orange County. They're doing a haunted car wash.
That's just.
How does that work?
How does that work?
So from the videos that I've seen, because it hasn't opened, and I think it opens later this week or later next week. It looks like one of those automated car washes, and they just have like creepy clowns in there and creepy creatures as your car is getting washed.
And bodies just drop down while you're getting your car washed.
Instead of the brushes, it's a body that drops down and drives.
Yeah, I mean, is it $8.99? I mean, it's been a while since I had my car washed. It sounds like a car wash, to be honest with you.
Hey, my car's covered in blood.
No, but you have to admit it. I mean, like Halloween Horror Nights got canceled, Fright Fest got canceled, Queen Mary got canceled, Knox Scary Farm got canceled. All the main haunts got canceled, but yet you have all these new random ideas that are popping up. And it's not just that, but they're also doing like city haunted tours. Like you get a tour guide and they walk you and the group, of course, socially distanced, through haunted sites of cities and give you like urban legends and ghost stories. I think they're pretty cool. And if you're like completely against actually leaving your house, I started seeing online advertisements for virtual tours of haunted places.
Yeah, I think, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think like throughout history, if you just look back, you'll see that like usually when you limit something, that's when people's human creativity gets like to its peak. You know, like they had an entire prohibition, but people still got drunk.
You stole the words right out of my mouth, man. I was about to say that's how we got the prohibition.
Well, I mean, people like to get scared too. You know, it's such a weird thing. It's like, I can't get scared. I need to find a way to get scared.
Like, yeah. I mean, 2020 has already been fucked up enough that you would think people would be like, okay, we're gonna chill, but no, they're craving.
Well, I mean,
more scares.
2020 has been depressing, just not scary. You know, like it's been very depressing, not scary.
Yeah, and like I feel like 2020 doesn't have any breaks, man. It's just one thing after the other.
Yeah.
Also,
I'm still waiting for the zombie apocalypse to begin, man.
You know what, man? It's the year's not over. The year's not over.
We still have 2 more months, dude.
Yeah, and even then, there's no guarantee that 2021 will be any better. We're just taking a gamble there.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But so you mentioned like all these different haunts that got canceled, Juan. But I mean, what's your favorite? What's your go-to? Like every year, you must do.
Well, I always have a soft spot for the big three. Halloween Horror Nights, I had a soft spot because that was the very first one I went to when I was a kid. I think 16 years old. I went to one of the first times it came back in 97, 98, I think. And then they stopped in 2000 and then restarted again. And that's when I was working at Universal. But because that was the first one I ever went to, I always have a soft spot for that one. Then I have a soft spot for Knox, not just because of working it, but because of I've been going to it every year since I was 16 as well, because of my birthday, and I love it. But then, even though they weren't that great quality, I also liked the Queen Mary the last 2 years because my wife and I went to it and really, really enjoyed it. It was fantastic. The thing with Queen Mary, they found their niche with the alcohol, and I don't know if you guys got to go for it, but they had secret bars that you needed. The first year, I think it was passwords, or you just needed to know how to enter the secret bars. Then the last 2 years, it was you had to speak to different scare actors, and they'll give you a token to enter the bar.
That's nuts, man. I don't think I've ever researched any one thing that in depth to figure out that there's some rando I got to talk to get a coin that lets me into a bar.
I think you forget how nerdy I could be when it comes to theme parks and haunts, man.
Yeah. What about you, Jay? You have any favorite haunts or favorite events?
No, I don't like. I'm not a big fan of.
I hate all of them.
I'm not a big fan of the. I mean, I'll go to them. They're fine. But I don't know. I just don't like them too much. And here's why. Because there was one Halloween that.
I know you were gonna do this,
dude. Like Juan, he calls me up and he goes, "Hey, you want to hang out?" I was like, "Yeah." And this is at this time I didn't have a car, so he goes, "Hey, I'll pick you up." So
okay, then, he's also forgetting the fact that he didn't feel 100%.
Yeah, I was getting to that. Just give me a second.
Yeah. Let him tell the story.
Yeah. So I go, okay, we'll just hang out, and then I go, hey, so just so you know, I have diarrhea, so I can't hang out too long. And he goes, that's cool, because we're gonna go to Not Scary Farm right now. So he kidnaps me, and then we go to Not Scary Farm. I was like, dude, seriously, I have diarrhea. I really don't want to go to this. And then we go to Not Scary Farm, and it was awful because every 10 minutes or so, I would have to find a restroom in the dark so I could take care of this diarrhea. But Juan had a good time. Juan had a fantastic time.
No, you had a good time too, because even with diarrhea, he still had the discounted ribs, because at the end of the night, Knott's Berry Farm used to sell the ribs that they normally sold for like $5 during the event for like $2 or 2 for $5. He still had the ribs, and then the fat ass still joined me for the after hours breakfast buffet.
Look,
right or wrong, Jay?
Look, I will admit the food was fantastic.
He didn't say his mouth had diarrhea.
Yeah, it was just bad going out. Coming in, it was fantastic, you know?
No, what he forgets is I didn't tell him we were going until Knox until he was in my car. He gets in the car and he goes, where are we going? I make sure I lock the door and I go Knoxbury Farm and start driving.
What, so are you telling me you kidnapped a grown man?
Yes, I there was a stage in my life where I was known for kidnapping my friends. Oh. Jay was probably the number one victim. I would always kidnap him, and he would always hate that I kidnapped him. Well, see, but he always had fun.
That's how Juan made friends back in the day. He would just take them hostage, and then he would force conversation on him so that you would have to listen and be his friend at one point. You know, he would just wear you down.
It kind of begs the question of how many people just got away. Are there people out there that just
escapes Juan Ledesma?
No one escapes. It's leave no witnesses, man.
Jesus Christ! Listen, I want plausible deniability back. I don't want to know what you did. I'm kind of when it comes to haunts, I'm kind of in the same boat as Jay, where I'm kind of neither here nor there. But I do have favorites, and usually it revolves around food. So Queen Mary. I enjoy the Queen Mary, but I enjoy the Queen Mary because some of the mazes are tied into the ship, and those ships are just really, really freaky. I don't plan on talking to any of these characters, but the atmosphere there is freaking nuts. Mm-hmm. And I can't think of any food off the top of my head that place had that was awesome.
It was regular street food, but some of it was good. I remember going one year and had the street dog that was Costco size on steroids.
No.
It was a pretty big dog, dude.
I mean, the Costco, is more than $1.50, I'm sure. But Queen Mary definitely for the atmosphere. And the same thing for Knott's. I'm not necessarily a fan of all the mazes because I feel like they could be constructed better. Except for that one year they did that maze with the flashlights. But
oh yeah.
They had some pretzel or some funnel cake thing one year that was freaking delicious, man. And then when you put hot Cheetos on anything, and that's I guess my go-to. It becomes just my normal food. Universal one year had Demigorgon tachos, which combines basically the concept of nachos and
demons.
Oh my, demons and demons. It was delicious. They sprinkled hot Cheeto, all the nacho fixings on tater tots, and it was freaking delicious with hot Cheetos sprinkled on top.
I remember you talking to me every so often going, I'm going to go do it this time. I'm going to do it this time.
Yes, the Demigorgon tachos. That's it.
Tonight's the night, man. Tonight's the night.
Tonight's the night. I'm not coming back.
If
you can't find me, I'm dead in my office.
With the Queen Mary, the first time I ever went to the Queen Mary was when it was shipwreck, and then they stopped doing it. I personally thought it was going to be a lot creepier because of the haunted history that boat had, and their mazes were crap. And then it came back as Dark Harbor, didn't fully care for it. Then went to the event with my wife and had fun with it, with the secret bars. And I've been doing these events for so many years of my life. I'm so desensitized to it. So I look at the art direction and all that stuff. But, I honestly forgot where the fuck I was going with this.
Well, that's fine because you bring up a good point when you talk about the haunted history of places. Because for me, that kind of helps. Again, with the Queen Mary, the atmosphere, you don't really, people could have died. That's a real working ship, right? People could have died in that other machinery.
Well, it's not a real working ship anymore. It hasn't been for years. Well, it was at one point.
Yeah, Sean, it doesn't go on maiden voyages anymore.
Oh, geez. I'm so sorry. I apologize. But my point is that, do you think people have ever been possessed? Or do you think possession or demonic possession is even possible in this day and age? Or even at all?
You're making it seem like demons suddenly go, you know what? It's the 21st century. We're not going to possess anybody anymore.
Well, I don't know. Personally, being a logical being myself, I don't think that it's a thing. And kind of looking into it just to kind of prep for this episode, I was just if you look on YouTube and put in exorcism or demonic possession, there's usually a lot of people who are just getting off drugs, who I think were just going through some really bad withdrawals. But then like you come across like some crazy ones from like Germany, like the story about the girl that ended up becoming like the movie the Exorcism of Emily Rose, which like perfectly normal 16-year-old girl suddenly like collapses and then needs to go through 10 months of exorcism and then like dies, like going through all this stuff, all while being serviced by priests. And like essentially like even the police are like, I think these parents might have just killed her. And then they talked to the priest and they talked to all the people around her. And they were like, no, this might have been real. She was possessed by like Judas and Lucifer and Nero and Hitler. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's like, is it a real thing?
Look, Sean, I'm going to tell you right now, I didn't like the movie. I thought it was kind of boring.
Really?
Yeah. Because most of it isn't in the courtroom, you know, and there was kind of like small like flashbacks to the exorcism, which all the exorcism parts were cool. My favorite part in the entire movie was when she jumps out of the window like Wolverine, you know, like, and then they do the exorcism in the barn. They end up in the barn, and then all the horses freak out because they're like, "Oh hell no! Look at this girl!"
You know, I saw the exorcism of Emily Rose by myself in a theater. I can't.
Like a big boy.
No. Like I was the only person in the theater, so that added a little bit more to the.
Is it because you didn't shower?
Fuck you.
Was this in Mexico?
No, it was in Glendale, by the way. Glendale Exchange. But no, I
was it a matinee? I mean, why were you?
Yeah, what is this?
It was in the afternoon, and I saw it, and it was creepy, and I was the only one in the theater, so it was kind of freaky. But going back to your original question, I mentioned in the last episode, I feel myself as I'm more of an atheist now as an adult than anything, but I was born and raised Catholic, so I still have very much some of the old Catholic beliefs that I can't get rid of them no matter what, or the Catholic guilt. I honestly don't know if demonic possession is real. Like I've always thought the scientific portion of my mind is these are people that are multiple personalities, schizophrenic, or have some underlying disease, and people are like, instead of doing a scientific thing or a medical thing, they're like, they must be possessed, let's call a priest. But then the Catholic side of me is like, no, demonic possession has to exist. They have exorcists in the Catholic Church. It's recognized by the Catholic Church, so there must be some truth to it. But
this girl Emily Rose died of like stuff that would happen if you were just a neglectful parent, right? Like she died of like malnutrition and like body damage.
Yeah, self-inflicted harm.
Yeah. So like you're saying it could possibly exist, but it sounds like these parents might have just neglected her a little bit, and these priests helped.
I don't know. Here, I have 3 questions about demonic possession. I have 3 questions. Okay, first question: Why do demons act like that? You know, like why do they act the way they do? You know, they're like they eat bugs, they drink piss. They're like, I'm the devil. It's like they have no manners or whatever. Like they're just weird. They're just weird, you know. And then my second question is, what are the goals that these demons have when they get here? You know, like when they possess someone, the only thing they do is just scare the shit out of people. You know, that's the only thing that they do when they get here. And then my last question is, when the demons get back to like Demon Town, whatever, after being exorcised by a priest, do they talk to the other demons and tell them about their experience? Like,
bro, I feel like the demons go back and they high five. They're like, dude, I was just in this Emily Rose chick. You don't believe the shit I had to do. She was drinking piss, eating bugs, and they were like trying to get me out, but I'm like, I'm not done yet. So then, yeah, so I think they might be high fiving.
Was it cool? I mean, what was it like? Well, tell us.
Yeah,
yeah, it was cool. You know, I was like, I'm the devil. Blah, blah,
blah. It's like I made them think that I was Lucifer. His name is like Steve. He's nobody.
They totally believed me. They totally believed me.
You know, according to the folklore of possession, the demons don't want to tell you their name because by saying their name, they lose their power.
You want to know who else does that? Mixospitalik in Superman comic books.
You know, I honestly don't know if demonic possession is real, but demonic possession was one of the things that scared me as a kid. Because when I was a kid, I was like 10 or 11 years old, and 2020 did this expose on exorcisms, and they showed this girl.
Must have been a slow day for 2020 to do an expose on that shit.
Yeah. They did this expose on demonic possession and exorcisms and like that. And I watched it with my mom and my brothers and sisters, and it freaked me out. It really freaked me out. So I asked my mom, I was like, is this real? Can this happen? You know, and being the devout Catholic that she was, she goes, yes, demons are real. And she told me that's why you need to keep your heart guarded so that they don't enter your heart. And that was all it took for me not to be able to sleep for the next couple days. Like I could not sleep like a wink, you know?
Well, well, hold on. So she didn't give you any instructions. She was just like, guard your heart. And you're like, wait, but how?
She said, good night. Sweet dreams. No. You guard your heart so the demons don't get inside there. I'm like, wait, what?
See, I think the reason I like horror stuff, and hearing about like the supernatural and exorcisms and going to haunts and watching scary movies is as a kid, I was not allowed to do any of that because by watching a scary movie or talking about ghost stories or anything would open up your soul or your body for the devil, and just put you at risk. And
Steve, it's funny you say that because like I grew up Christian, and when you grow up Christian, like you don't necessarily get possessed. You just do things, and if they're not good, you just, the devil made them do it, and that's it. Like it's like, oh man, he pissed all over the floor. Yeah, the devil made him do that. I'm so sorry. And then you
tell the devil to clean that up.
You know, and one of my jobs, not mentioning which one, but I remember having to respond to a situation where this guy was going through a haunted house and he was pleasing himself. And when I dealt with that situation, the wife said the devil made him do it because they were good Christians and it was Sunday, and instead of going to church that Sunday, they went to a devil place, and the devil made him whip it out and please himself in public.
Wow, the devil is just like, let's do this right now.
He was. I guess he needed to relieve some stress. I was going through a haunted house. He was like, I can't take it.
Yeah, no, it's funny.
I have another question because I have a very important question to ask you.
Did you? No, I did not. But both you and I know a gentleman that did.
That's also true. That's also true. So,
the funniest part is the reason I responded was because I was the only person around that can speak in Spanish, and this family only spoke Spanish. So trying to say jerk off in Spanish, I couldn't.
¿Cómo se dice?
Se la estaba jerking off.
Again, whenever you do stuff, man, I'm sorry I ate your sandwich. The devil made me do it. That's
wow, the devil's a jerk.
Free card. Yeah, well, shit, he's pissing on floors. He's possessing dogs, eating sandwiches,
jerking off in haunted.
You guys ever have any like paranormal experiences yourselves?
No,
not 100% confirmed, but yeah.
But you know,
Well, I get.
But
go ahead.
From like what I've seen, like from paranormal activity type shows where like stuff just kind of moves, like a cabinet just opened. Oh, it's the ghosts. Like, but why do ghosts just? They're just annoying. Like they don't do much.
Yeah. That's what. If you've known me long enough, you know that I don't believe in ghosts. Stuff just happens, right? So like, yeah, if the cabinet opens, it's a wind, it's a gust. Your house has weird airflow. I don't know. If a ghost is gonna live in my house, I want to come out and shake my hand and pay rent because I
pull your weight.
Because
dude.
I don't have time for all this. Yeah, I don't have time for him to just knock stuff over. It's a waste of time.
You gonna pick that up, Ghost? Huh?
It's okay. That was $15.95. Okay, we can split it.
It's called a coaster, Ghost. Use it.
That's funny.
Do you want to share your paranormal experience?
Yeah,
you can't
I have
confirm?
3 that kind of really
Does
marked.
it take place in Mexico?
No.
Or in a shower with a grown man.
The first one was I was in the 3rd grade, and
how do you remember this?
Because it's one of those events that ever since then I always wanted to go back, and I never did until I was an adult. But they took us on a field trip to the Queen Mary, and
yeah, but hold on, you can't trust an 8-9-year-old's imagination. They think everything's trying to kill them.
Let me finish
John,
the story.
it really happened. Okay.
No. Okay. So.
Okay.
So this
I'm
is
so sorry.
This is what happened because we were such a young group. It was the different grades in the school, and it was a Catholic school. So the older grades, like the 7th and 8th graders, got to go to the mystery and ghost tour portion of the Queen Mary tours, and we did the historic tours. Back then, the Queen Mary had TVs throughout the decks, and they kind of showed like the different poltergeist activity and everything that the ship allegedly has. Our tour guide, and we were kids, we wanted to see that. We kept on trying to ask questions about the ghost, and he would like just switch the conversation because I don't know, because of our age group or because the school told them, no, you can't really talk about this shit. We were passing a water fountain, and suddenly the water fountain just turns on, and the water is like sprouting. And it was one of those, back then, I don't know if you remember these water fountains. It wasn't the push button one, but it was the turn knob one. Do you remember those?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
you turn the knob to get the water.
Nope.
Yeah. So almost like a sink, but it was a drinking fountain. So it was one of those that you turn it, but you have to hold it in place so the water comes out. Because as soon as you let go of it, it has a spring that shuts it back down, and the water stops flowing.
Oh my God! Is that how fountains work?
I feel like that's exactly how fountains work. You should work for a magazine where they describe things.
Anyways, the water just turned on and it was flowing. It wasn't like it was off and then suddenly turned on and it's flowing, and all the kids were like, "Oh my God, it's a ghost and a ghost!" And then the tour guide just goes, "Ghost wastes too much water," and turned it off. And then we continued on, and that was to me what I thought was my first experience. Now, a logical mind, it could be a faulty drinking fountain, X, Y, and Z. So ever since then, I always wanted to go back to the Queen Mary, and then I went back for Shipwreck, and then I went back for when it was Dark Harbor, and then finally, when my son was somewhat not older, but enough that we can take him out, my entire family went, and it was cool looking at the ship, and it was creepy, but I never got to see anything spooky after that.
It sounds a logical mind would say, a logical adult mind would say, this tour guide just took this group of 10-year-old on a fake haunted tour and knew that fountain was going to go off.
No, it wasn't one of the effects from their shows or anything like that. That I'm convinced of, man.
What kind of tour just takes you and you go see a water fountain? Like,
no, we were walking past the water fountain. We didn't go and go, hey, this is the water fountain that World War II soldiers drank out of.
I thought that was the main attraction.
Yeah.
Yeah, you only went to the fountain. You didn't talk about any other part of this tour.
You want to see a haunted water fountain?
You guys are fools. You guys are. Yeah.
Where are the fools? And you're the one that let some tour guide take you on a haunted tour and convince you of ghosts when the big water fountain.
Again, you know as a newfound atheist or someone that wants to think logical, I find my mind very split to always be like, yes, there is no God, there's science and shit like that, but I still have this side of me that wants to believe in the supernatural and in ghosts. And because, I mean, yes, I watch shows like Ghost Adventures and shit like that, and there's some stuff that there's real. There's some stuff that you see and go, okay, that had to be a gust of wind, that's stupid. But then there's other stuff that you go, I can't explain that.
You know, I had a similar experience. I feel like where when I was a kid, I was a kid, and a relative stole my nose from my face, and to this day, I don't know how they physically took my nose away from my face, and he showed it to me. He's like, "I've got your nose," and it's just one of those unexplained phenomena.
But but I mean, you're breathing.
Yeah,
okay
I mean,
now, right?
They would put the nose back, so there was no harm, no foul.
Oh. I thought it was like one of those demon nose harvesters, and they just.
I don't know. To this day, I don't know whether the devil wanted to take my nose.
Well, if he was Christian, the devil made him do it. So, I mean, that's a thing. Yeah, I personally, I don't believe in it, and like unless a ghost is like again is going to come out of the woodwork and shake my hand, I don't believe it. But I've always found myself surrounded by people who believe and are ready to take anything as a sign that that's a ghost. I was at work once. And I was sitting in front of like these monitors that had a remote control. Someone opens the door, and at the same time they open the door, the remote control flies into the air. And so it hits the ground. That person looks at me and goes, "You saw that? That's a ghost." Like, I think the gust of wind from the door just caused it to fall. Like, no. This place is haunted. Granted, I had worked there for years and had never seen a ghost. But this person who had been there probably, 2 years and had apparently had seen a ghost, and it was working right next to me. When again, I find that like that kind of hypersensitivity to be insane because I just don't understand where it comes
with
from.
Shaggy from Scooby-Doo?
What about the time that you and I were late at work and we heard the door jingle, and I sent you around because I go, it's the freaking night cleaners, and you went around and didn't see anybody.
Again. That yes, I agree. That was weird.
Did we hear a scream as well?
Yeah. Well, I don't remember hearing a scream, but I remember. Yeah, we heard the door jingle. I went around to check. I didn't see anybody. But our girlfriends at the time, they walked in. They walked in like moments later, and then moments later after that, the night cleaner walked in. So it's totally feasible that inside that building somewhere,
and remember,
and it was an empty building.
Go, it's the freaking night cleaners trying to get in. Go open the door. I wasn't going to go because I was a chicken shit. You open the door. There was nobody there. And then I go, okay, check the other door. You went and checked the other door. Nobody there. And then I go, okay, go around and check the other door. You went through all three doors and walked around the area and didn't see anybody.
I did. But admit to me a couple of things. That was a drafty building.
Very true. Yeah.
Okay. Thing number 2. There were people in that building after hours. Okay. Thing number 3. Moments after we did all that, people
very
appeared.
true.
Oh, okay. So can you just say there's a possibility?
There's absolutely a possibility why that fucking water fountain turned on by itself. There's always a possibility why certain things happen.
The devil was thirsty.
Until you're 100% sure. Until you're 100% sure, you can't really confirm it.
I'm 100% sure that our imagination got away with us. And then once the answer was revealed, it was more fun to believe that it was a ghost.
I agree. It's more fun to believe in than to know the actual facts.
Jay, you had no ghost stories, nothing supernatural aside. Well,
no.
Well, I guess you
no,
have to
because
guard your heart.
like
I still don't understand what you're.
I didn't believe in like ghosts and stuff like that. I think I was more afraid of like real life like serial killers and murderers and stuff like that, and like crazy people. Because like I would have friends that would tell me like stories about, like I had a friend that told me, hey, they steal kids to make snuff movies. And I was like, what's a snuff movie? And then he explains to me that this movie where they kill you and they actually film it. And then from there, I was scared of like adults. I was just scared of strangers. So I didn't trust anybody, but like ghosts, I didn't care for, like, because
I guess, yeah. I mean, comparatively, a ghost isn't going to do anything, but a stranger will take you and film your death. And then that's, oh man. So I think I'm all out. I think, I don't have any other paranormal stories or, even other haunt events to talk about. How about you guys?
No, I mean, yeah, I didn't have those types of experience besides like being afraid of like demonic possession and exorcisms. I don't think I was afraid of the supernatural at all. I mean, plus I saw Ghostbusters as a kid, so I was like, this is kind of cool, like.
I saw RoboCop as a kid. I'm still messed up.
I'm not sure
what about you,
anymore because you make fun of me.
Yeah, you said
but you had one more.
Yeah,
you had one more.
But the third one's too personal, and given the fact how you guys ridiculed me, I don't want to tell you.
Well, I don't want to burst your bubble, but the last two that you shared involved you, which makes them personal.
I want to hear the story.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'll cut it out. I'm not going to cut it out.
This one was the first time I did a comedy show that was paid, and J. Cole was there. It was what was it called? The Comedy Union, Jay?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was the first time I did a show, and it was a bringer show, and a lot of people actually came to see us, so I got paid for it. Also, Jay was having an argument with a friend of ours, but after my set, because I did well, they kind of forgot about it. That show also happened to be on the anniversary of the death of my mom. So I felt like a shitty son, like doing something fun on the anniversary of my mom. So I'm like, I'm going to dedicate this show to my mom. I am going to kill it. I'm going to be funny. And this is going to be for my mom. And go ahead.
No, that's nice. That was a nice story.
Well, it's not done.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did really good. I was on cloud 9. I was super excited. I was walking by my car. I'm like talking to myself, going, I dedicated this to my mom. This is great. I'm getting to my car and I'm even getting goosebumps. And I realized that what I'm about to say, it's just my mind filling in. And that's why I said out of all three stories, I don't know if they're true ghost experiences or it's just my mind filling in the blanks. But standing next to my mom, next to my car, and the parking meter was my mom with a big smile. I got freaked out, dropped the keys, went to pick up the keys, and looked back up, and she was gone. I started bawling like a little kid because it was freaky, but at the same time, it was very emotional. And I never really told people. And then one time I finally decided to tell my big brother this story. And like you jackasses, he made fun of me. He started laughing. And then he goes, next time you see mom, can you tell her that she owes me money? Because you see, when we were younger, we used to play Monopoly for real money, and she never paid me. And so,
wow, someone holds a grudge.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's your brother,
my older brother.
Right?
But those are the main stories. But the last one is the one that I would have to say was the Queen Mary, the first one. My mother was the second one, and then the one with you, Sean, was the third one. And
well, technically the second.
No,
one.
Was the third one. In chronological order,
I'm not
the
keeping
one
track.
that happened with my mom was first, but I always save it. I don't tell it much because people like you make fun of me about it because you guys are
You're a jerk, Sean.
You too, Jay. You too. But yeah, but
you're a jerk
because of stuff like that, and because of demonic possessions and stuff like that. Like, even though I know how a Ouija board works, I don't want to play with a Ouija board. In fact, there was a good friend of ours that both of you guys know, Claudine. I believe she gave me a Ouija board that people were giving away for it because of the movie Ouija, and I never took it inside my home. I left it in my car and then gave it away. Yeah. Even though I know how it works, it's just because I was raised to believe that you don't have that type of shit in your house.
You ever think your life is like paranormal activity?
You know, Juan, you're the most superstitious atheist I've ever met, really.
Yeah.
I was raised as a Catholic for how many years, man? Come on. You have to give me some credit on this one. Again, dude, everything was a sin or everything was opening you up for the devil. And you have to remember, you're talking to a guy that at some point in his life
didn't shower.
Wanted to become a priest.
Well, you're bearing the lead here, Juan. I don't think anyone knew at the outset of these stories.
That's news to me.
In the beginning.
Fuck you guys. I'm pretty sure I shared it with both of you guys.
I think we would have remembered if you wanted to be a priest or not.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, is this why you rushed to get ordained online?
Are you done?
The real question is, are you done?
Yeah, I'm done. I'm really done for tonight. Everybody, thanks for listening tonight. Really appreciate your support. We also have merchandise that hit. We have t-shirts. More merchandise is coming, so stay tuned and post it. Like us on Instagram and Facebook. You can find us under INCYC Show, or you can even email us your comments, suggestions, ideas at incycshow@gmail.com. Again, thank you for listening. Like, subscribe, do all that magical jazz.
Goodbye, everybody.
Thanks, Juan. Have a good night. Jay,
Bye.
Take it easy. Bye.